Senator Kennedy to kick us off.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Judge Dudick, did I say that name right?
That's correct, Senator.
All right, what's the warrant requirement?
Well, before the court would issue a warrant, you have to assess to make sure that there's probable cause to either search the place.
When's a warrant required?
Excuse me?
When is a warrant required?
The general rule is a warrant is required any time that the government wants to search a person, place, or thing.
Could you speak into the mic?
Oh, I'm sorry, Senator. Yeah, I said the backdrop rule is that a warrant is required any time the government wants to search a person, place, or a thing.
And to arrest you, right?
There are some exceptions to that, but generally, yes.
Okay. And there are exceptions to the warrant requirement for searching and arresting people, are they not? Are there not?
Yes, Senator, there are.
Okay. Suppose the Florida Supreme Court ruled that here in Florida, we're not going to recognize any exceptions to the warrant requirement. You have to have a warrant to search someone, and you have to have a warrant to arrest someone. Mm-hmm. No exceptions. Can the Florida Supreme Court do that?
Well, Senator, under the Supremacy Clause, they'd be bound by what the Fourth Amendment dictates. Of course, they're free to make their own requirements as it.
What if the Florida Supreme Court did it under the Florida Constitution and not the federal Constitution?
Well, they would still, Senator, have to apply with what the federal Constitution said.
No, they wouldn't.
Under the Supremacy Clause.
Do you know what adequate and independent state grounds means?
Sure. Of course, I would understand that they could have independent and adequate state grounds for state law, but they.
No, they don't. As long as you don't take away rights, but add to them, a state can do whatever it wants to under its state constitution, can it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
Senator.
that's not what you just said. You think the Supremacy Clause applies? The Supremacy Clause applies.
Well,
you want to change your answer?
Senator, I would like to change my answer to the extent that I agree with you that the Florida legislature or Florida could do exactly what you said. I meant in my statement is that.
Trust me, it can. Judge Pruitt, I'm sorry, I can't see that far.
It's Judge Pratt, Senator. Yes.
Judge Pratt, I apologize. I can't see that far. Can a state legislature pass a law that discriminates against a group of people over another group of people for inferior treatment?
Well, Senator, the federal Constitution and the state Constitution both contain protections against various forms of discrimination.
But can a state legislature say this group, we're going to treat this group of people differently than another group of people?
So I think, Senator, an example where a legislature
could. Tell me first
if
a state can do that.
Yes, a state can, for example, require a driving age which discriminates on the basis of age. To say, for example,
when can a state legislature not do that?
When it's seeking to do so under a basis that is protected under the state or federal constitution.
Okay, good. Judge.
Senator John Kennedy delivers a sharp and pointed line of questioning to federal judge nominees during a Senate hearing. Watch as he presses them on basic constitutional principles from the warrant requirement to Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, and exposes startling gaps in their legal knowledge. This fiery exchange is a must-see for anyone concerned about the future of the judiciary. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful moments from Capitol Hill. How well do our future federal judges know the U.S. Constitution? Today, Senator John Kennedy demanded answers, and what followed was both shocking and revealing. Stay tuned as we break down one of the most intense Senate judiciary exchanges you'll see this year.
Kennedy, what's the warrant requirement?
Judge Dudick, a warrant is generally required any time the government wants to search a person, place, or thing.
It all starts simple. Senator Kennedy quizzes Judge Dudick on one of the most basic legal standards, the Fourth Amendment warrant requirement. Things seem steady until the question of asterisk exceptions asterisk throws a curveball.
Kennedy, suppose Florida said no exceptions to warrants ever. Could they do that? Kennedy, suppose Florida said no exceptions to warrants ever. Could they do that? Judge Dudek fumbles and Kennedy pounces. Kennedy, can Florida say that under its constitution?
Kennedy draws the line between federal authority and state autonomy, invoking the adequate and independent state grounds doctrine. The judge tries to recover, but Kennedy's sharp tone highlights the uncertainty and the legal missteps.
Kennedy, trust me, they can. Kennedy, can a state legislature pass a law that discriminates against a group of people?
Judge Pratt attempts an answer citing age-related laws like driving age, but Kennedy presses further. When is discrimination?
Tell me about the privileges and immunities clause.
The privileges and immunities clause, there's a privileges and immunities and a privileges or immunities clause. There's one of each. One of them relates.
Privileges and is what I'm asking you about.
I believe you're referring to what came through in one of the Reconstruction amendments and discussing the fact that that the privileges and immunities of citizenship would be extended under those.
First, what article is it in?
I believe it's in the 13th Amendment.
No, 4th. Article 4. What does it do?
Senator, you have pinpointed a question that in my 9 years as a judge, in my decade of private practice before this, my 2 years as a law clerk, my 2 years on law review in law school, including a year as editor-in-chief, didn't ever come up.
You tell me you don't know?
So it's an interesting question.
Yes,
and
ma'am. I know it's interesting. That's why I asked it.
Yes.
But you don't know the answer. Just tell me. I got a lot of ground to cover here.
I would be very happy to research it.
Okay. Do you know what the privileges or immunities clause is?
With respect to my answer would be the same on that.
You don't know it either.
Well, with respect to the privileges and immunities of citizenship, my recollection is that
Privileges are immunities.
yes, my recollection is that was discussed in one of the Reconstruction amendments.
Which one do you know?
I believe it was the third.
Senator Kennedy's courtroom-style interrogation highlighted more than just gaps in knowledge. It raised critical questions about judicial preparedness and constitutional literacy. As the Senate moves closer to confirming these judges, the American people are left wondering, shouldn't knowing the Constitution be the bare minimum? Don't forget to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and hit that subscribe button for more eye-opening moments from the halls of Congress.